Hello, I'm Josh, and I'm joined here with Professor Smoke,
What's up?
and we are from the All American Spook Show podcast. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you already know that. But we encourage you to stay here on the YouTube channel and check out all the other cool stuff. You'll see some information going on the little scroll down on the bottom of the screen there. aaspookshow.com. That's like where you can find everything. But right here on the YouTube channel, every month we have Grindhouse Gutter, where the professor picks something that would have played back in the old Grindhouse B movies from the those grindhouse and drive-in theaters of the day, and we watch those and talk about them. Another series is Video Vortex, where we watch something that it could be any genre on all these, by the way, too, not just horror. Although we always kind of lean horror in a lot of ways, right? But
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be
Oh, yeah.
horror. Um, but Video Vortex, we picked something that you would have picked up at the video store back in the 80s and 90s. So that's kind of the premise on those. And then Hammer Horror in Order is where we literally watch all of the Hammer Films horror movies and thriller movies in the order in which they were released. So we have a lot of fun doing those three series every month, pretty much every week here on the YouTube channel. And we occasionally go live like this for random things. And of course, we have the All American Spook Show podcast. I should mention that, right? That comes out every Monday at 6 p.m. East. And you can listen to that once again right here on the YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcast. So we encourage you to check those out every week. But today we are here to talk about the 2024 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. Now they're coming up in October, I believe. What is it? October 13th, I believe it was. I saw they're going to debut on Shudder, and then they're going to be on demand after that. But we wanted to kind of chime in and give our 2 cents. Like, we're going to go through every category, and we're going to tell you our predictions. Basically, I think the way we're going to do this, Smoke, is we're going to say, this is what I would like to see win. Say necessarily this is my vote, right? But this is the one that I think will win. So sometimes I'm sure those will be one and the same, but we'll see as we go along, right?
True. Yep.
It's been an interesting year. I wish Donnie, by the way, may or may not pop in. He was supposed to be here, but we haven't been able to get in contact with him, so he may or may not just surprise. Here's Donnie, but Tiana, your wife, she's on the show usually. She's actually away down on a trip down to Orlando, right?
Yeah, she's down at Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights with the girls, with the daughters.
But we need to get her to do some kind of little video, something like, representing the Spook Show there at what is it called, Halloween Horror Night, or what did I say? What is it? Halloween Horror
Night.
Yeah. Yep. No, I've never done it. I've always wanted to go down there and do it. I've never done it.
It took a while for us. In fact, it was, since we've been together is when both of us have gone, for the first time to. I mean, it's been a few years back now, but yeah, I never got to go back when it first started. I just never. And I've only been down there Christmas time once. So
yeah,
that's a fun time though. It's another good time to go. Christmas and Halloween's a great time.
And I think at least 2 times, maybe 3 times, you've done a video when you went down there.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
To that, and with that one that you did that time. These are all, by the way, on our patreon.com/AASpookshow, where he did the Library of the Professor segments, where one of them was at the Monsters Cafe that's now not even there. Right. So
yeah. It's funny. Like you mentioned that not too long ago, my wife had messaged me that they ate at what it is now is the Minions Cafe. They still eat there. I miss it being that. I'm very sore about it not being the Monsters Cafe anymore. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's still good though. But hopefully the Minions. Hopefully those monster related things that were inside the cafe will show up in the new Epic Universe section of.
Yeah, because now they're gonna have like a whole, almost like their own little small park inside the park, right? Like just for Universal Monster type stuff, right?
Well, it's going to be. I think it's called Dark Universe, which is inside Epic. The new park is Epic Universe, and it's got however many, 4 or 5, whatever different lands. One of them, is Dark Universe, which is the Universal Monsters. So
yeah,
that should be awesome. I'm anticipating that. We're definitely going down there when that finally opens, which shouldn't be too long. I think it's 2025, I believe.
That might be the thing that ends up finally getting me down there to check that out, because that really does look cool. The things I've seen about it.
Oh, and there's other Nintendo Land and another part of Harry Potter, and the How to Train Your Dragon is a land for that. and I'm probably missing one at least. Can't think of right now.
Well, I mean, we're still live. We're still doing this, but I needed to pull something up real quick that I forgot to pull up because Tiana, like we said, she's not here, but she did message me or send me all of her selections. So she can still put in her 2 cents. And of course, I cannot find it. Surely I didn't lose that. But yeah, I think we've got 19 different categories, and we'll be going through those here in just a second. Now, the 19th category is Best Kill. So maybe be thinking of some movies over the past year or so that you watched that, like, you know, you would think would, because they don't really nominate anything in particular for this. They just kind of like leave that one open-ended. So these are the ones from movies. Now, also, too, I should add, this time period that they did for the Chainsaw Awards this year is a little longer than usual because the last, I think, couple of years that we've done this, it's usually in the spring. But Fangoria finally had the sense to move this to October. See, it seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
But they're finally going to do this in October, so to catch up to the time period from when they did it in the spring of 2023, that means that little time period is closer to like a year and a half or so. So there's going to be some movies that came out a little while back, you know, that will seem a little bit more like distant memories a little bit that are being nominated here. So all right, I found Tiana's list too, so I can name those off as we go along. Okay. Here I got little videos prepared for when we're reading off these little nominees. So I'll bring up the first one here. So we've got nominees for Best Nonfiction, basically Best Series, right? So we've got, you see there, Amityville, an origin story. I guess that's a series. I guess all of these are, right? So Amityville, an origin story. The Boulet Brothers Dracula Season 5. The Enfield Poltergeist. The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, and Svengoolie. So I guess, you know, since I read those off, Smoke, I'll let you go first. What would you like to see win that? And what do you think will win that?
Well, I mean, as I think both of them are going to line up. I'm thinking both of them are going to line up. For me, it is, anyways. As much as I like Svengoolie, I think he's great, and I'm glad that he's still doing his thing too. I'm going with my personal pick, and the one that I think will win is Joe Bob Briggs, Drive-In Theater.
I don't think I'm not going to disagree with you there. I think I'm going to go right there with you. Like, as much as, like you said, I appreciate Svengoolie, and it would be I'd be cool with that with him winning it. I definitely would.
Oh yeah, I would too. Yeah, I would too. I think he's great. I love his character and his whole setup, you know, and everything, and the movies he picks. Yeah, great classics.
Dude's been doing it for like what 30-something, 40 years, right? Long time, late 70s, early 80s. So it wouldn't surprise me if he won it, but I think Joe Bob will probably take it, and I'm pretty sure he's taken it the last couple of years. If I don't have the full list of what happened in the past, so that wouldn't surprise me. And Tiana, surprise, she agrees with us. The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. So that is that best nonfiction series. Yeah, what does it say? Nonfiction series or miniseries is what it says there. So I don't know enough about some of those other ones, to be honest with you, to really say, like, I'm not cool with that or that. Like, I've never watched the Boulet Brothers, or I don't even know what the Amityville and origin story is, but God knows.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. The only thing I'm thinking of when I think Amityville, besides the classics, is the crazy sequels that they've been releasing up to whatever it is they're up to now.
Yeah, I think I'm not even exaggerating. It's in the 30s or 40s of Amityville movies now. That is not.
And I think this is totally not related to that.
But I mean, it could be like, you know, just like the roots of Amityville. Maybe it's comparing the true story to the movies and all that stuff. So I doubt it goes into what was it, Amityville Karen and all that.
yeah. I don't think it would. I mean, I don't know anything about it. Like I said, if that is the case, that'd be cool if it was kind of comparing and contrasting the original story with the movies, the first few movies or so. Yeah. And I would definitely watch that, but I don't know anything else about it. I mean, like I said, I haven't watched it all. The only two that I do know anything about is Joe Bob and Svengoolie. And but yeah, like I said, I think Joe Bob's going to take it as good as Svengoolie is. You know, I still think it'll go to Joe Bob.
All right, let me bring up the next one here. I Okay, there it is. So this one is going to be Best Cinematography. Like I said off the top, this is from the last year and a half or so. So let's see what we've got for these nominees. Nominees for Best Cinematography include Anna Morton for The First Omen, Eric K. Yu for I Saw the TV Glow, Pierce Dirks for In a Violent Nature, Kareem Hussein for Infinity Pool, and Robbie Ryan for Poor Things. So what do you think there? Some interesting ones.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one because, I mean, well, go ahead.
I was just going to say my knee jerk is probably In a Violent Nature.
Yeah, that was what I was going to just say, as far as, not that I was going to pick it just yet, but that was the first thing I was going to mention about those movies, is the way that movie was shot, because it's sort of an artistic slasher film, right? And it's from the killer's POV, or at least cameras behind them, or from his POV or whatever. So it's a bunch of interesting shots in the movie that would, lean towards it being picked for that, because these other movies are, just fine and good and all that, but they're your standard, camera setups and everything. It's not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think this one stands out when you're talking about cinematography over the other ones, I think.
Infinity Pool had a pretty interesting look, if I recall.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, my knee jerk is probably Pierce Dirks for In a Violent Nature. I have to be fair, I have not seen I Saw the TV Glow, and I haven't
either.
I have not seen Poor Things either, but I've heard good things about it. I think I want to say it was nominated or won an Oscar or something like that too, right? Poor Things, I think. So yeah, I
believe so.
If that's the case, if I'm remembering correctly on Poor Things, it might get it just because it actually won a legit, it won an Oscar, maybe. But no, I'd say my vote is In a Violent Nature.
That's my vote for both. For what I think. What I think is going to win, because, like I said, I haven't seen a couple of those other ones, so I don't really know. But of the ones I've seen, I would say In a Violent Nature, and that's the one that I would want to win as well, just because of it. It's very interestingly shot, and it's an interesting take on the slasher genre in general.
And we're 2 for 2. Tiana agrees with us.
Oh, okay.
In a Violent Nature.
Yeah.
So we're simpatico so far. We're all in sync.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to come a moment here shortly where we're going to have some split opinions, but so far, I think we're all on the same page. Let me find. Now the next category is Best Costume Design. These I never quite get, or I never quite get them right.
Oh yeah.
I always think one way and then it's the complete opposite. So
yeah.
All right. So the nominees for Best Costume Design are Paco Delgado for The First Omen, Lisa Crescioli for Immaculate, Steph Hook for Late Night with the Devil, Megan McLaughlin for Lisa Frankenstein, and Holly Waddington, or Waddington, however you say that, for Poor Things. Once again, I wish I had looked up that Poor Things for the Oscar, because I'm telling you, it won something. So that wouldn't surprise me just for the look, because it's kind of got, like, ironically, Lisa Frankenstein, I think they have like somewhat of a similar plot thing going on there with, like, it's kind of a Frankenstein story, Poor Things, and obviously Lisa Frankenstein. So Lisa Frankenstein was pretty unique looking.
Yeah, very the 80s vibe and everything going on, and I'm guessing that's a play on the title of the movie being Lisa Frank. That 80s girls line or whatever, that was just a big thing in the 80s, I guess. And Frankenstein, Lisa Frankenstein, I'm guessing that's a play on both of those two words.
The funny thing was I went and saw that movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's kind of one of those ones you see, and then to me, it's like you see it, it is fine, and then you move on. It took me way too long to make that Lisa Frank connection. For whatever reason, my brain wouldn't fire on all cylinders on that one. So I was just like, oh, Lisa Frank. Okay, now I get
it. Well, I had my wife to help me out too with it on that.
Well, there you go.
And she probably liked it. I mean, I liked it well enough. I probably liked it about as much as you did or whatever. She liked it more. I mean, I'm sure it appeals more because of that. It's a female aspect.
I say my vote is, or I will say, I think Poor Things will win it, Holly Waddington. But I would kind of give the vote to Steph Hook for Late Night with the Devil, because they really nailed that 70s vibe in that one, man. As much as like even Lisa Frankenstein did with the 80s thing, and all these did. You know, they kind of in their own ways, they all nailed it one way or another for the time period kind of thing. But the look of everything in Late Night with the Devil, you truly believe you're watching like Johnny Carson knockoff show from the 70s, and just everything they're wearing and just everything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you echo what I was going to say, because that was with both of those picks. I haven't seen Poor Things either, but it was an Oscar. It won or was a contender or whatever.
Yeah. Now I'm going to have to look it up while we're talking, because I'm telling you it was.
Yeah.
But continue.
So I don't know. I don't know what Oscar it won, what category it was in, if it did win or what it was nominated
it did.
for.
Okay, I got it here. It won 4 Oscars.
Damn. Okay.
It won. Now, this is rare air for us to be talking about this kind of thing on here, right?
Yeah, especially for.
I'm trying to bring it up. Of course, my internet's just spinning. I'll bring it out whenever it loads up. I'll tell you what those were. But I'm not.
Well,
just knowing that and knowing that is probably what it was nominated for at the least.
Yeah.
Here it is. It won the Oscar for Best Achievement in Makeup and Hairstyling. Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Picture, so original score. Best Motion Picture of the Year. It won Best Picture? No. Best Motion Picture of the Year?
It did?
Well, that's what it says here. That can't be right. And then, okay, no, it was nominated. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading nominees and winners together. Okay.
Oh.
It won. Okay, here we go. It won Best Achievement in Makeup and Hairstyling. And then it won for Best Performance by an Actress in a Lead. So Emma Stone got Best Lead Actress for it.
Now, is it a period piece? Like set in a different era?
I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's kind of like Victorian era kind of look. If I recall.
Yeah. So it's kind of taking place at the time of Frankenstein, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Somewhere in that era, anyway. Or
it won for hold on, there's 2 more. There it is. Best Achievement in Production Design. There you go. And Best Achievement in Costume Design. Okay, well, there's your winner.
Well, there we go. Yeah, like
if
you said.
If it won the Oscar for Best Costume Design, I think it's going to take the Chainsaw Award as well.
Yeah, so that was what I was going to say. That as far as my pick would be for, same as you would be for. I was going to say I Saw the Devil. That's a bit of a different movie from a different era, different period. Great movie. But yeah, not just because I think it's a great 70s set piece, like you said. It's a perfectly designed costumes. You feel like you're watching something from the 70s for sure.
Yeah.
So that would be the pick that I would want to win, but I'll go with 4 Things for the win. For what will win it, what I think will win it.
So I think we have a pretty good consensus. Let's see what Tiana said. She said 4 Things.
4 Things for both.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well, she didn't give like 2. I guess she gave us what she thinks will win. So.
Well, win. Oh, okay. Well, then we're still on the same page, and all of us at this point. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So what's the next one? We've got Best Creature Effects. All right. These are always interesting, right? When you're talking about horror, this is a big one. So let's see what we've got here. We've got Evil Dead Rise, Five Nights at Freddy's, Infested, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and Megan. Uh-oh. What do you think?
Well, I'll say also the one that I Best Creature Effects. I haven't seen. We have it, but we still haven't gotten around to watching The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I haven't seen Megan. I don't really want to see. I've seen enough of Megan with the trailers and other things.
That's why I said.
Yeah. Now, what was the first one you mentioned?
The first one was Evil Dead Rise, then Five Nights at Freddy's, Infested, and then the 2 you just mentioned. I haven't seen Infested, so I can't really speak on that one.
I don't think I've seen. I'm pretty sure we didn't watch it, or at least I didn't. I don't remember watching that one. Five Nights at Freddy's, I know of. Of course, I didn't. Tiana and her daughter saw it, but I didn't see that one. I assumed. I saw the trailer, and they looked like the animatronics from the games and stuff, right? So,
yeah.
And then what was the last 2?
Evil Dead Rise, Five Nights at Freddy's, Infested, and then The Last Voyage of the Demeter and Megan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did see Evil Dead Rise, of course. I think I'm gonna go with out of the ones I saw. I guess I'll go with Evil Dead Rise for the one that I would want to win, and the one for that I think will win. I don't. I mean, I guess I'll go with Evil Dead Rise for that as well. Even though I don't know, maybe it would be Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Evil Dead Rise for both.
I'd love to say that the same thing for both, but my opinion is I think it should be Evil Dead Rise, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be Megan.
Oh, Megan. I guess so, but when
I'm
I
not
think of that
saying-
movie, I mean,
I'm not saying
go
it's
ahead.
like great stuff. I just think that like it's popular enough, and they want to give it something. So you know
I
how
guess,
these things
yeah.
are. Right? I guess, yeah. I totally agree. I did not like the movie, and I don't think you're going to like it either, just based on what I know about you.
Yeah. Well, I don't think. I mean, I haven't seen it. I've only seen the trailer and enough of the Megan aspects of her, the doll thing, whatever. I mean, it doesn't strike me as a movie that should win for creature effects, because how much of it is creature effect really? But I mean, that's
Well,
me.
I say the same thing about the Voyage of the Demeter. I actually liked the movie because I know it was kind of a little divisive, but I actually enjoyed the movie enough for what it was. But
Yeah.
creature effects, I don't know, man. I mean, unless you're going full digital, right? Like computer effects, because that was my beef with it was, Nosferatu, the Dracula or whatever, and that one was clearly like digital, so
CG. Yeah, no, it almost seems like you should have two categories. Not that they would want to do that, but one for CG creature effects maybe, and then one for practical effects. But
yeah. And you would think, honestly, that you're right. With Fangoria and the horror community the way it is, you would think they probably would want to kind of split it up. Like, here's the category for that, and here's the the practical effects. But they would. So I say I would like. I think I agree with you. Both of us would like to see Evil Dead Rise, and you think it will win, but I think Megan might take it. I think it'll be a little bit of a surprise. And by the way, Tiana, she picked Evil Dead Rise, so she's right with us so far.
And I can vouch for her that she hasn't seen Megan either. I mean, she's seen the trailers and everything that I've seen about it. But
I'm kind of surprised she hasn't seen it yet.
Was that? Yeah. She didn't. It's just one that didn't interest her either. I guess maybe it's the TikTok dancing and the.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's the one thing everybody knows about it, right? It's like it's a girl, clearly like a girl, but like with a mask on. Yeah, she's doing the funky dances and stuff. So like it went viral. So that's the thing, and that's where I'm. That's where I'm thinking that like it might be the popular choice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree with it. Just my aversion to the movie is not why I would disagree with it taking the creature effect. It's just the fact that I don't think it's really a creature effect. It's like you said, a girl with a mask on that's not even really designed to be a creature per se. So, but whatever. I just disagree with the category selection, I guess, for it.
And
even though, like you said, it probably will win.
And there are, from what I recall, there are some decent effects in the movie, just beyond the girl dancing around in the mask and everything. Like that's the kind of knee-jerk instant reaction kind of thing. But it's my problem with that movie goes deeper than what it looked like. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but there were no other creatures, right? Or no? Well, yeah, like you consider her a creature, I guess.
Yeah. No, not really. No. Well, let's move on. We've got Best Director. So this is always a pretty good category. So let's see what we've got here. We've got Brandon Cronenberg for Infinity Pool, Lee Cronin for Evil Dead Rise, Danny and Michael Filippo for Talk to Me, Damien Runya for When Evil Lurks, and Arkasha Stevenson for The First Omen. Boy, this is an interesting one.
All right. Well, all right. Let's go through. Repeat them one more time.
All right. So you've got Infinity Pool.
Yep.
Evil Dead Rise, Talk to Me, When Evil Lurks, and The First Omen.
And this is a category I think where I've seen all of them.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I've seen all 5 of these. Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a difficult one. I think.
Yeah, because to me, best director is kind of closely tied with like best film. I know it's not always exactly the same, but to me, they're kind of the same in a lot of ways.
Well, I'll put out there. I'm going to try and hone in on which one I think will win. I'm going to put out the one that I want to win. And this is difficult too, because I think all of these, well, at least I'll put it this way. The two that I'm kind of going back and forth over in my mind is the Infinity Pool with Brandon Cronenberg.
Yeah.
And the Where Evil Lurks with, I can't remember the director's name right now.
Oh, Damien Runia.
Yeah, those are the two.
I remember him distinctly from Terrified. Remember when we watched that one?
Yeah. We did that earlier on. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Where Evil Lurks for the one that I want to win. Yeah, the one that I think will win. God. Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going through in my head all the different things too, because also you have the aspect of Where Evil Lurks being a foreign film, and that's very, that stands out in people's minds too a lot these days. Plus, it was in the theaters and it outdid The Exorcist. Maybe not in sales. I'm not sure what The Exorcist brought in at the box office, but as far as the buzz and people liking it and all that stuff and talking about it, it definitely outshined The Exorcist in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Believer or whatever, the new one.
Yeah. By the way, that Exorcist Believer came out in the same time frame. We haven't mentioned that movie at all, so that should tell you all you need to know, right?
That's true. Yeah, I don't know if it pops up anywhere because I haven't seen. I haven't gone. I mean, I did kind of go over them, but I don't remember if it popped up anywhere.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I don't think it did. Yeah.
Unless there's a shitty movie category that I skipped.
Yeah. This is a tough one, though. I mean, as far as like I said, it's not so tough for me to pick the one that I want to win, but the one that I think will win. I guess I'll go with. Maybe I'll go with an upset in my mind. I was initially thinking Where Evil Lurks as well for that, but maybe I'll go with Infinity Pool for what I think will win.
I'm gonna say, gosh, I really like Evil Dead Rise. I'd be cool with Evil Dead Rise for Lee Cronin or When Evil Lurks for Damien Runia. I'd be cool with either one. Mm-hmm. And I really think one of those will win it. I can't say. I mean, it's tough. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, and this is because of what I think will win Best Film, and we'll get to that one here in a little bit. I'm gonna go with Damien Runia for When Evil Lurks, because spoiler alert, I don't think he's gonna win Best Film. So I'm gonna give him this.
That's the one I wanted. That's who I want. Hopefully you're right, and that's who I wanted. When I figured I was gonna mix it up and go with the upset on Infinity Pool, and we'll see. But yeah, I hope that Damien Runia does.
I loved Evil Dead Rise, one of my favorites of the year. If not my favorite of the year, honestly, it's right up there. But I think When Evil Lurks might get it. We'll see. We'll see. With all these, we'll see. But yeah, Tiana, she said, okay, well, she went out. This is the first time she's went opposite direction on us. She said, Danny and Michael Philippoff for Talk to Me.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, that's a good movie. Like I said, that's another one that was kind of all of those movies are excellent choices.
Yeah.
And I like that movie. I like that movie well enough. I know she might have liked it a little bit more than I did. But, I liked it. I liked all of these movies in this category.
You're in pretty good company, honestly, with all five of these that, for instance, The First Omen is probably the least one of my favorites of this. And that was really good.
And that was really good, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't even talk about that. I mean, that's this was a tough category, no doubt.
Yeah, it is. It is. But, these are, from what we know, at least, these are voted on by the people, right? We all vote. Yeah. And that's so you have to kind of think, what's the popular vote going to be? So that's kind of where I try to think. But
yeah. I mean, it could easily be Evil Dead Rise, too, right?
Yeah. So, and look, like I said, none of that would hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I don't think, honestly, any of them would hurt my feelings. But I think it's kind of like, I'm thinking like the Oscars, where they always go kind of the opposite of what wins Best Film. So like, not all the time, but usually like, well, we can't give two Oscars, so we kind of split the love. Like we'll give one Best Director and then Best Film to somebody else. Sometimes. So that's where we'll leave that one. What's next here? Okay, this is one I don't know much about. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's best documentary feature.
Yeah, I might not either.
I'm pretty sure I haven't watched any of these, so this is a tough one. I'm just going to be calling this off of the gut. So here are the nominees: Dario Argento Panico, The Legacy.
That one I didn't.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. The Legacy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Satan Wants You. This one, Sharksploitation. And finally, We Kill for Love. So what do you think? I'm leaning towards something Argento, or, but then again, Texas Chainsaw, right?
Yeah. Well, first off, say that I haven't seen any of these documentaries yet, but I definitely would want to see Argento, the
Texas
Chainsaw one.
Yeah.
Sharksploitation would probably be fun as well. There's some outlandish Sharksploitation that came out ever since back in the 70s, the 80s, and all the way up to, of course, the Sharknado movies that we've done at least one or two of, right?
God, well, we did the one on Sharknado 4. We did on Video Vortex, but I was thinking, what was the other shark movie that we did?
Oh, the one in the Sharks of the Corn. You didn't have to watch that, though, did you?
No, I didn't watch that one. No, I'm on Video Vortex. We did the one with the Great Value Hulk Hogan. God, what movie was that?
Oh, that was an Italian one. That was an Italian one, and I can't remember, from the 90s. So, can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head either.
Yeah, I'm blanking. But that. Yeah, that would be fun if it's like that kind of. They're talking about all that kind of stuff, right? They would be.
Yeah, they should. They should talk about those as well as the Sharknado stuff and all that. But I mean, but yeah, as far as like what I think would win on that, well, I'll put it this way: I haven't seen any of them, right?
Yeah,
but
same.
Going by title alone, I think what I want to win would be the Argento one, and I love Texas Chainsaw too, though.
Yeah.
I don't know the quality of these. Like I say, I don't know the breakdown on what these documentaries look like, who made them, or any of that stuff. So, Texas Chainsaw and Argento are sort of equal to me in my mind as far as me liking. Texas Chainsaw is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I agree.
Suspiria, Deep Red, and all this stuff. Argento classics and all that are great too. So, I mean, that's a tough one. And I guess I'll go with Texas Chainsaw for the win. And but like I haven't seen them, so I mean, I don't know if I should even choose, because either one of those, I'm sure I would, if they're done well.
I think for this one, we should probably say like, well, since we haven't watched them, what do you think would win? I'm going to go with Argento, because that just sounds like something that most people voting for this are probably like us, and they generally like Argento's work.
I don't deny that at all. I like them equally. I like Texas Chainsaw. Now, when I say Texas Chainsaw, I'm basically talking about the first two.
Yeah, well, it does say the legacy of the third one in there. It is called The Legacy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so they could go about 5 different directions there.
Yeah, there's all kind of different directions they could go in.
So I don't know what they did.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that as a franchise. I love the first one, really love the second one, kind of like the third one, and the sequel didn't completely. I mean, not the sequel. The remake didn't completely suck. It's alright. It's pretty good too. And that's about the most as I can say. Some of the other ones, and I haven't even seen the last maybe 2 or so. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Argento on it too. I'm gonna go back to that one. I think.
Yeah.
Go with Argento.
Well, Tiana's back on the same page with us. She picked Dario Argento's Panico.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's seen any of those, to be honest with you. She didn't add.
I don't think so.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I love watching a good documentary, but for some reason, I don't seek them out as much as I should. So, like, unless it kind of falls right in front of me on Shudder or something like that, then I just kind of oh, that sounds good, and then forget about it.
Yeah, I can't remember, and I don't remember what years they came out, but the ones that were like about the 80s, and it was it had like a synthwave soundtrack, and it was very long, like.
Well, In Search of Darkness.
Yeah, In Search of Darkness. The ones that we've seen of that series have been real good. It's just hard to watch. You can't really watch it all in one sitting.
No.
Yeah, you could. You gotta take half a day or so to you're gonna be sick of sitting on the couch or chair or whatever watching it if you try to watch the whole thing at one time. But broken down.
Can you imagine there's probably somebody out there that has watched like all 3 of those things back to back?
Like some kind of marathon or something.
Yeah, I mean, because I think they're legit like 3 or 4 hours a piece, right? Something like that.
Yeah. and they are good. They are put together
Yeah.
well. It's just that's just too long to sit at one time.
Yeah,
But
it's like watching the Lord.
joy,
It's like watching the Lord of the Rings special editions in a row. Like,
yeah.
I'll see you in 13 hours. You know.
Yep.
Well,
But
the next,
take it in chunks. It's really good.
oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's really well done. There's no doubt about that. The In Search of Darkness
Yeah.
docu-series at this point, because there's 3 of them.
But I guess they came out. They didn't come out this year. I guess that's why not one of them's not in there.
No, I think that third one. I could be wrong, but I think that third one came out like 2022. I think it was outside of this period, I believe.
Yeah, probably was.
Either that, or people were just tired of it, so they just didn't nominate it. Or maybe these other ones are just flat out better. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, the next one we've got here is Best First Feature. So these would be the feature directorial debuts by these folks. So let's go through them. We've got The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster, Birth, Rebirth, It Lives Inside, Skinamarink, and Stop Motion. Now, me, I've only seen Skinamarink and Stop Motion. I have not seen the other.
Yeah, I'm in the same category, I believe, as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Now, this one, if Tiana was on the show, she'd be like, probably, no, you did see this one. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
You've seen every one of these 3 times.
It's very. I mean, I don't think I have. I think I've only seen those 2. See, that's where it comes for new movies. Unless I just watched them, in the last couple of weeks or so. Sometimes I do forget that I saw it until I'm start reading synopsis. I'm oh yeah, I did see this one.
Yeah.
That the older movies stick in my head much, even if I've seen them less times. Sometimes stick in my head more. That's just the nature of it, I guess. But to my, what I remember about this category, the ones I see is just like you mentioned, the Skinamarink and Stop Motion. And I would say, for me personally, Skinamarink is a very divisive movie. I think as far as anybody that's seen it knows.
To say the least.
Yeah. But it did get a hell of a lot of talk out there about it. The divisiveness was, it was Stop Motion, on the other hand, I don't remember anybody. We saw it and I liked it. Both of us liked it. Nobody that I know of was really talking about it that much, though. You know what I mean? Like, Skinamarink was out there for a long time. Still is. It's still divisive for people, too. So,
yeah.
I'm going to go with Skinamarink for. Am I going to go with it for my pick? I mean, it's just so different. So I don't even know that I like it a whole hell of a lot, but it is. I did like it for what it was. Seeing it in the theater with the audio design and everything was an interesting experience. It's not for anybody who hasn't seen it. It's not a formulaic by any means. It's not a standard, movie that.
I just flat out say it. In my opinion, it's not a movie. It's something else. It's not a movie. It's not like a normal dialogue, a story, and everything movie. It's something different.
No, that's totally different. Yeah, it's totally exists as a experiment, I would say an art film, but it's not even that either. People think of art films, they think they get a certain thing in their mind, but it's not necessarily that. Like it is artistic.
It's like watching a nightmare. Right? Yeah. I mean, and that's exactly what they were going for, clearly.
Yeah, the illogical flow of time and things and actions in the movie is very much like a nightmare. Yeah, that's true, and it's nostalgic too. There's things in here that will like trigger things in your mind, like when the TV's on and it's like Saturday morning kind of cartoons, but they're not. Some of them, they're like stuff that was playing from, I guess you call it the 40s and stuff that were in
it's like,
public domain.
Almost like the Harvey Tunes type stuff, or Bugs Bunny type stuff. But like that, like Woodpecker.
And the digital video, not digital, but the analog video type effects that were used in it and things. I mean, it's very nostalgic if you grew up in the 70s and 80s watching analog video. Mm-hmm. So, definitely a different kind of movie. I'm going to go with it. I think I'm going to go with it for my pick and for what I think is going to win it. I don't know. Even though I haven't seen the other ones, like I said, Stop Motion, and that one's the only one that I've seen. So, and Stop Motion was a great movie too. I thought under the radar kind of sleeper type movie.
I think I kind of prefer Stop Motion a little bit more, but I think Skinamarink will get this because it's so damn unique and
Yeah.
Both movies, and I know, to be fair to the other three, I haven't seen them, so I don't know. But from what I've seen of these two, both of them are very unique and very cool and distinct for first features, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, for the
That-
first
yeah.
movies that they've done, this is what they put out. So, like, if nothing else, I'm looking forward to what else these people do. You know,
True.
from
Yeah.
those two. Like,
Yeah.
if that's where you
But I just
start,
think-
where are you going to finish?
Definitely. Yeah. And Skinamarink, I mean, what are you going to go to next? Are you going to be something that's even? I mean, you can't really outdo it in terms of oddness. I don't think, or unfilm like narrative or whatever. So I don't know what you go in the complete opposite direction. I don't know, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll do something else not too long from now. So, but yeah, I think it is going to be that one just because of the buzz, negative and positive on it, was through the roof. The hype. Some people I think saw it based on hype, and then they were disappointed, or I don't know. It's just it was a very talked about movie, no matter whether you hated it or you loved it or you liked it or whatever. Very definitely.
I think from either one of them, we need to see a remake of The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. That's what they need to do now.
Yeah. Collaborative effort.
Try to remake that, motherfuckers. Okay, the next category we got is Best International Movie. So I have not seen. Okay, I have seen one of these. I take that back. So that's probably going to be the one that I'm going to say. But and I think you're probably going to be about the same way. But hold on, let me bring the little. Where is it? Best International Movie. All right, so here's the little. Here are the nominees.
Mm-hmm.
The Coffee Table, Exuma, Infested, Hussera the Bone Woman, and When Evil Lurks. I'm just going to say that right now. I think it's When Evil Lurks.
I think it's going to be like, not having seen the other ones. Still, that movie. No, I don't know that any of the other ones played in the theater, so that should tell you something right there as far as.
Yeah, but there are international
played the theater
films, so like that's rare here. To bring it here in the U.S. domestically.
Yeah. I think that alone would be one of the reasons why. I mean, the other ones may very well be great movies too. I don't know. I haven't seen them, but that one played here in America, and a lot of people are voting on this. Probably saw that movie in the theater,
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that for one I want to win, and the one I think is going to win.
I haven't seen, like I said, I've only seen that one, so I'm going to go with that. And honestly, that'd probably be my pick regardless. But I have heard good things about The Coffee Table and Exuma. So that's on me, right? I need to go watch those movies. But yeah, I think When Evil Lurks will probably take this one regardless. I've heard a lot of good things about The Coffee Table, though, so it wouldn't surprise me. There's some buzz about that one. But for anybody that has seen When Evil Lurks, right, I think you would agree.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
That is. It is. And it's just well made, too, and everything. So,
yeah.
Keep going back to, like, it's a possession movie of a sort. It's different, but it is somewhat of a possession movie. But yeah, I just go back to that being, the other possession movie at the time was Exorcist Believer, and it just blew that one away.
Oh, God.
Easily blew it away.
I didn't see, I think you and Tiana even made the mistake of seeing those at the same time, didn't you?
I think we watched them the same night. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did a double feature.
Yeah, you messed up.
Yeah, and I can't remember which one we saw first right now. But
I just remember y'all saying something about that. I'm like, man, you messed up. You don't. Yeah. That's like having a 4-course nice meal, but you ate it in the bottom of a trash can or something.
Yeah, I want to say that we saw that at least we got to wash our palate out with When Evil Lurks. So I'm pretty sure we saw Exorcist Believer first, and then When Evil Lurks. So.
Well, keeping up with what we've done for the most part here, other than one category so far, Tiana agrees with us. She picked When Evil Lurks. And I think she's seen a couple of those other ones because I remember her saying something about it. So that goes a little bit further with me. When Evil Lurks.
She might say that I saw The Coffee Table, but I don't remember it right now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I didn't. But
honey, what's wrong with you? You don't remember? All right, so what's the next one? We got Best Lead Performance. So let me pull that. All right, so here we've got the nominees for this. Now, this is a little bit longer list. So Tobin Bell in Saw X. David Dastmalchian. David Dasmalchian for Late Night with the Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Dever for No One Will Save You. Nell Tiger Free in The First Omen. Catherine Newton in Lisa Frankenstein. Lupita Nyong'o in A Quiet Place Day One. Emma Stone in Poor Things. Lily Sullivan in Evil Dead Rise. Sydney Sweeney in Immaculate. And Sophie Wilde in Talk to Me. So you got some very good nominees here. And of course,
for best actress or best supporting actress?
No, this is best lead performance. Now, remember, in the Chainsaw Awards, they don't do like a best actor or best actress. They just put them all together. So it's just the best lead in a movie. And I've seen a lot of these, and they were all good. From the ones I saw, they were all good in their respective categories or, their respective movies.
Yeah.
Putting Tobin Bell back in the Saw franchise, he was, he's solid in everything he's in. Yeah. David Dasmalchian was very good in Late Night with the Devil. I mean, he really carried that movie.
Now I haven't seen Poor Things, but I mean, with it getting all the Oscar, nominations and wins and stuff.
Yeah, she won best actress for that. Right? Wasn't that what I just read? So, yeah, that might be the one.
I think that's the one I'm going to go for the win as well. But what do I want to see win? I think I'm going to go with David Dasmalchian for Late Night with the Devil. Yeah,
he was good in that. He really was.
I mean, the other ones are great that I've seen in this category, which is most of the other ones as well. Like Tobin Bell. I mean, he's great. I love Tobin Bell and I like him as Jigsaw and all that stuff. I'm not the biggest Saw movie fan in general, which which we did one recently, right?
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, so I talk about that a little bit too. So I mean, but yeah, so for me personally, it's not probably going to be my pick, even though I think Tobin Bell's a great actor. It's just Saw franchise is not my biggest thing there.
Well, yeah, like I'm gonna say, I think Emma Stone will win it with Poor Things just because of what we've been talking about. But man, I'll tell you what, Nell Tiger Free was really good in The First Omen. Like the lead. Nun. She was really good in that movie, man. And Lily Sullivan was awesome in Evil Dead Rise.
True. I feel bad not giving a whole lot of anything to First Omen because I really liked that movie.
Yeah, it was good.
But I mean, I just think that when you put it up against some of the other ones, performance-wise and everything, but it's David Dasmalchian, and I think he knocked it out of the park in that role.
Yeah, it's hard to argue it. I'm going to go just because I really liked Evil Dead Rise, and I got to give it something. I'm going to go with Lily Sullivan, but probably going to be Emma Stone. But you never know.
Yeah.
You get a different crowd with the Chainsaw Awards, right? Yeah. True. The real horror hounds, so to speak, come out for this. So this isn't like the Oscar crowd, They're not catering to the Oscar crowd. So who knows? You could see it either way.
True.
What do we got next? Oh, best limited series. Oh, I'm sorry, best limited release. So these are movies that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. What did she say? Tobin Bell.
Tobin
Saw
Bell.
X.
Okay.
Now I know she's a big Saw fan, right?
Yeah.
And she likes Tobin, and I know she's talked about Tobin Bell before, so that doesn't surprise. And look, I wouldn't completely beef. I mean, he is what makes the Saw franchise. He's the grease in the wheel, so to speak, right? Well, however you want to phrase it. The ones without him have not been as good.
True. No, definitely not. So it's good for him to come back. And I mean, there are within the Fangoria fan world out there too. I think there's plenty of Saw fans, so I could see that taking it as well.
Yeah,
it's just not my thing. Not my personally, as far as
I think.
As far as a franchise.
Yeah, nothing on him and nothing against that movie. To be honest with you, it's fine. I just think there's some other stronger nominees on this list that I would give it to, but I wouldn't be against it. Plus, too, you wonder. I really wonder. And we are totally unaffiliated with Fangoria, right? We have nothing to do with it. Although if they want us on board, but we have nothing to do with them. So I wonder if they give out some of these, depending on who they can get to participate in some way, right? You have to wonder.
Yeah, true.
Like they might not be able to get Emma Stone to show up or do a video or something, but they could get Tobin Bell to do it. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that influences anything. It shouldn't. I mean, if it's a pure vote, but who
True.
knows? Who knows? Best limited release. There's 5 nominees. So these are the movies that had a limited release. So I assume that means they might have had a small theatrical run. So I have not seen any of these. Well, wait a minute. No, I did. So we'll run through it. Hold on. Here we go. So we've got Cobweb, Ennis Men, I Saw the TV Glow, The Outwaters, and Suitable Flesh. I've only seen The Outwaters.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I think I've seen that one too, because that's the one that was kind of was it a psychedelic type thing going on?
Yeah, it's like a psychedelic found footage movie.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I've seen that one, and I don't remember the other ones. I don't remember seeing.
I haven't seen any of the other ones. I've heard some good stuff about Suitable Flesh, and I Saw the TV Glow, but I haven't seen the only one I've seen. So I'm going to go with The Outwaters, but that's just because I haven't watched any of the other ones.
Now, I Saw the TV Glow. That title. I mean, that's got a lot of buzz, right? Because I know I've heard the title many times. So yeah, I would go with The Outwaters being the one that I would pick because it's the only one I've seen too. But
yeah, but even if that was, once again, I mean, you hate to say those kind of things because I haven't seen the other ones, to be fair, but The Outwaters is very unique, and that last 20 or 20 minutes or so are like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, it is some wild stuff. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'm not saying you're going to love it or anything like that, but it's one that needs to be witnessed.
Yeah, it's definitely a different take on it, just because of you don't know really what's going on, and neither do the people in the movie, because it's got this sort of true psychedelic thing, not like just lighting effects and crazy stuff are going on, but like a true mind-bending things going on.
Yeah. Well, I'll trust Tiana's opinion on this one because she's probably seen all these or most of them, and she went with I Saw the TV Glow. That's what I was
leaning towards for winning, just because I know that I've heard that that title many times, so I know it's got a lot of buzz out there. So yeah, but
and it's probably her telling you, either you've already watched it and you forgot, or she keeps telling you need to watch it and you haven't watched it yet.
Well, this is the found footage category, though, right?
Well, no, it's just best limited release.
Oh, that's limited release. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that just means, I guess, it got like a short run. It got a short run, I guess. The opposite of wide release. Best limited release. Let's see what's next. Best makeup effects. Okay, so this is obviously a little different than creature effects, right?
Yeah. I guess it could be gore effects or various related other things.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine, that's going to play in here when you hear these nominees. So let me go ahead and read them off here. We've got Abigail, Evil Dead Rise, In a Violent Nature, Talk to Me, and When Evil Lurks. Ooh. That is a tough category.
Yeah. For various, I know When Evil Lurks is deserving of being in all these different categories it's in. And it's got some good, makeup effects in it. But, Evil Dead Rise is all about the makeup effects, pretty much, Yeah. And things going on. And what was the other ones?
Abigail, Evil Dead Rise, and a Violent Nature, Talk to Me, and When Evil Lurks.
All of these are, again, difficult. I think I'm going to go with Evil Dead Rise for winning it, and who I want to win. I don't.
Dude, some of that makeup effects and everything, and When Evil Lurks, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
And Evil Dead Rise, like you said, it's almost all about that.
Yeah. When you think Evil Dead, that's the main thing you think of, from the beginning to now, are the makeup effects. There's various other story elements and the humor and the original ones and all that stuff. But
Even
But yeah, the
Abigail,
first thing you
even
do is
Abigail's
fish.
pretty good, as far as like just
Yeah.
with the blood, the gore and all that type of stuff,
Yeah. This is another category where I think I've seen all of them. I believe.
Yeah,
You just
probably.
mentioned it. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably did that. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, man. I guess I'm going to go with. I'll give it Evil Dead Rise winning it, and then I'll say that that's the one that I want to win too. I guess because I mean, just because I've given stuff to most of the other movies that we've talked about in this category besides Abigail.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go once again. I think there was another category that was basically the same for me. It's a split between like Evil Dead Rise and When Evil Lurks.
Yeah.
We're back in this place again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Evil Dead Rise. It's got to win something here, right? Like, it's got to take a couple
Yeah.
days. But you say the same thing about When Evil Lurks, and I keep pointing this out because when we get the best film, you'll know why I keep saying this. Because I don't think either one of those are going to win it.
Of course, though, we're talking about people voting on it, not necessarily a what do you call it, like the Oscars, where it's
where they have a panel kind of thing like that.
Yeah. So people could just vote whatever they want to vote. They can vote the best film, best makeup effects, best this, that, and have it all be the same. So it is kind of hard to call, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to keep mine Evil Dead Rise for the
win
and the one I want.
This is part gamble here because you don't know what people are thinking. I think half of this is totally basing it on social media buzz, viral buzz, right? You're kind of, what are people talking about? Mm-hmm. That might be what they're voting for. It's kind of the thought process. So, Tiana says, what was this again? This was Best Makeup Effects. She says, When Evil Lurks.
Yeah, can't argue it.
I forget what kind of zombie or the possessed ones or whatever in that movie. The one toward the beginning of the movie where he's rotten. That's what it was, the Rottens or something, right? And the dude is just kind of a big, fat, blimp, zombie-looking dude. Dude, the makeup job, the creature effects / makeup job, whatever you want to phrase it on that. That's
that was intense. So that could very easily win. That could easily win. It's hard to really call on this category for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's see what the next one is. It is Best Score. You might be a little bit better suited for this category than I, because sometimes I fail to notice the score every once in a while. Sometimes when they're really good ones and they really impact you, I notice it. Sometimes when they're more subtle and they're back there, I don't notice it as much. So.
Well, before you read them out, I'm gonna say, like these days, I don't know if it's a trend or whatever you want to call it, of composing movie scores seems to be the less noticeable it is, the better. I mean, not for me, but for the director, I guess, or whatever, when it's just underscoring, which is what it does, but it doesn't try and stand out too much. Like when you think about movies in the 80s, you think about Argento's soundtracks, or you think about these, things that, they underscore it, but they almost overscore it or whatever, but in a good way for me, where it's like in your face and you recognize it and you're like, oh yeah, all right, that's the Phantasm score, or that's the Profondo Rosa Deep Red score by Goblin, or what, very noticeable. These days it seems to be, as much as you don't notice it, it's there and it's pushing things along. Subtlety, yes. It's basically things you don't really want to listen to outside of the movie. Like you wouldn't sit and put on certain soundtracks these days to these movies and have it be memorable. You know what I mean?
Sometimes, every once in a while, like you say, they'll still pull one out. But by and large, you're right. I don't know if there's going to be a mass market for soundtrack vinyls on this shit 20 years from now. Something that came out this year, right? Who knows? But
true.
Here are the nominees for Best Score. Stephen McCown for Evil Dead Rise. Mark Corvin for The First Omen. Noki Sato for Godzilla -1. Alex G for I Saw the TV Glow. And Tim Hecker for Infinity Pool.
Well, there's a standout in here for me.
Yeah.
probably a standout for you too. And we talked about this before we went in. We didn't talk about this category, but we were just talking about Godzilla -1 before we went on live.
Yep.
And one of the things we both were talking about having to do with that is not even necessarily the person that scored this movie, but it's the fact that use the score from the original Godzilla.
Yeah.
Whenever you see him,
but even beyond that, though, there is a great score for that movie.
Yeah, there's a great score. Yeah. So that I think I'm going to go with that one, and it might be biased on my part because of being a big Godzilla fan and all that.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right in some ways, but I don't think it's a wrong bias either on this one. I think it's just a bias.
Yeah. That's the one I would want to win. I'll put it that way. I don't know. Now,
Evil Dead Rise had a pretty good one, especially like that first that cold open, or however you want to look at it, when all that stuff goes down at the beginning of that movie, the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then not to give too much about the movie away, but the demon, the possessed person, like floats over the water, and that music that plays while they're floating, it's like, oh yeah, that's some good stuff. You know, I love the beginning of that movie.
Yeah.
Love the beginning of that movie.
So I mean, it's
First Omen. Although in the First Omen, did they not use? Because it seemed like the Omen had more of a memorable score, and they didn't use it in this movie, right? Like if I recall, like maybe I'm misremembering.
You're talking about the original Omen movie?
Yeah, because the First Omen is, I don't think you're giving much away. It's a direct prequel to the Omen, the original.
Yeah.
So I don't remember them playing the music from the original Omen in this movie. Maybe
I don't remember that music.
Not remembering.
I don't think they did, because I would feel pretty sure I'd remembered that. I mean, because it is memorable, especially the chanting part of the score in the original Omen movie.
If you're watching and please comment, because I don't remember if they played that or not. But either way, not that that's always necessary, but you would think if you're doing a prequel, like once again we'll point to Godzilla -1, you would want to lean into that.
Reference it.
Godzilla -1 has its own great score, but then when Godzilla shows up and you hear burn, 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 it's perfect. It's like classic. It's like you're in the 50s, or in the 60s watching Godzilla again.
Yep. And like I was saying earlier, some of these are kind of hard to pick because it's trying to be in the background. A lot of the scores are, emphasize certain elements, but they don't really stand out a whole lot necessarily. These, I guess, because it's the category of a score, they should. I think Evil Dead Rise does, like you mentioned, especially in the beginning. And I think I saw the TV Glow. I can't speak for that one, so I don't know. I don't even know what that soundtrack is, because I haven't seen that movie. So it could have a great soundtrack. Maybe take the win. I don't know, but I haven't seen it. So I can't
Infinity Pool, didn't Infinity Pool kind of have like a synth kind of thing going for it? If I recall.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, to a certain degree, I guess it did. And I mean, I like that one too.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I mean, it's a great movie, but old baby Cronenberg cribbed some of his dad's notes on that. Not that that's a bad thing, right? If you're gonna copy somebody, but
but I think by personal bias, and if I were voting on this myself, it would be for Godzilla -1.
Well, Tiana, once again, she agrees. Godzilla -1, that was her vote. I don't think you can go wrong. That was, such a great score, and then like throwing in the old, but it doesn't lean on it. You know what I mean? It's not like they just play the old music over and over. Like it's got its own nice little new stuff, but then they throw that in.
Yeah, it's almost like it's just for that. I don't think it uses nostalgia in a bad way. We talked about this before. All these movies play on nostalgia heavily. Everything from Disney, Star Wars to whatever, But to me, this does evoke a little bit of nostalgia when you're watching those old Godzilla movies. But it doesn't. It's not overtly in your face. I don't think it's just kind of these strange.
What do they call that when it's kind of when it's overt and in your face? They call that like fan service. It's not. It's not that.
No, it's just. I think it's just a tradition. It's Godzilla, and this movie evokes that 50s Godzilla because it's kind of playing off the same themes and elements. So I think it's definitely fitting. It might be out of place. Well, we talked about this offline too. It would be out of place if these Hollywood Godzilla movies did that. That theme.
I mean, I would still be cool with it just because I love that, that old music. But it wouldn't play as.
It wouldn't fit as well.
It fit perfectly here because this movie was taking place within the few years after World War II. So it's like late 40s, early 50s time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Godzilla -1 is what we're going with. Now, a little bit more interesting here. Best screenplay. I see. Here are our nominees. The First Omen, Infinity Pool, Late Night with the Devil, Megan. How the hell did that get in there? And Talk to Me. Boy, if those movies, for real, how the hell did Megan get in there?
I don't know. For best screenplay, yeah, that is weird. I mean, you can see it in there for maybe some other things, I guess, or whatever. But
there is some. I'm not saying it's completely unoriginal. There's some originality to it, and I guess that that's what they're grasping onto there. But nah. Especially when my biggest beef with that movie is the screenplay. No.
But between some of those other ones, kind of difficult.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. The First Omen, great.
Yeah.
Once again, not giving much away. It's almost seamless prequel to The Omen.
Yeah.
Infinity Pool is very original.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the kind of thing that should get best screenplay, right? It's when it's that original.
Yeah. I keep calling the damn movie I Saw the Devil.
Yeah, I think it's a different one. Late Night with the Devil, once again, very original. Very well done. And Talk to Me.
Yeah.
That's 4 tough ones.
It's probably going to come down to bias again, as far as my personal pick, of course. Well, it always does. That's what your personal pick is,
that's
right?
That's the whole point. Yeah.
Oh. I think I'm going to go with Infinity Pool, I guess. Is the one that I want to win out of that category for screenplay anyways. And then for one I think we'll win Megan. No, I'm kidding. I hope not.
Look, if they're going to give Megan something, make it that other category. Don't give this best screenplay.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Don't do that.
God, I think I'll go with screenplay.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Right now I'm flipping back and forth in my head between God damn it, if I call it I Saw the Devil one more time, I'm just going to leave this podcast.
Yeah, forever I'm done.
Late Night with the Devil and The First Omen, kind of what I'm throwing around in my head.
Yeah.
I haven't given The First Omen any wins for this. And if it were going to win one, it would be this. I mean, or it could be the score as well.
Because as much as I like Talk to Me, if you think about it, it's not an extremely original screenplay because it's kind of the monkey's paw thing, right?
Definitely is. Yeah, definitely.
And The First Omen isn't necessarily the most original thing, although I think they do a good job of bringing it all together, to tie it in with the first movie. So, yeah, I'd say for me it's either Infinity Pool or Late Night with the Devil. 2 really original flicks. Well done.
I think I'm going to go with Late Night with the Devil for the win. And then one I want to win, Infinity Pool.
I think I'm going to agree with you. The exact same thing. I think I'm going to agree. Let's see what Tiana said. She said, okay, well, she said, Talk to Me. And I'm not shitting on that movie. It really is a good movie. Yeah. It's just, when I think best screenplay, I'm thinking like some originality, some things we haven't quite seen, so that maybe you haven't seen it like that way, but, with that supernatural type of thing, it's a little different, but it's kind of like the monkey's paw story, a little bit, but
yeah, just with different twists on it, but yeah,
but it's still well done. So I mean, I'm not going to shit on it for that.
And I don't hate that movie. I don't dislike it even. It's just that personal picks and all these other categories, I like the other movies that this particular movie Talk to Me has been in. I like some of the other movies that have been up against it better, I guess, as far as my personal picks for those categories. But I don't hate this movie, that Talk to Me by any means. I think it's a good movie, and people should see it if they haven't.
All right, so best streaming premiere is the next category, and this is 5 movies that I assume that means it went straight to a streamer, so it never played. I think generally never even got a limited release. It just went straight to Netflix, Hulu, Shudder, whatever, right? Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
So here are the nominees. Best streaming premiere movie. No One Will Save You. Sick, Totally Killer, VHS 85, and Where the Devil Roams.
I don't know that I've seen any of those.
I
don't think I've seen any.
I watched Sick, and that was actually kind of like, that one surprised me. I wasn't expecting much on that one, and it was actually pretty good. A lot gorier than you would think for like a straight to Peacock slasher.
All right.
And I'm pretty sure I think I saw Totally Killer now that I saw that image of it there. I might have seen that too, but yeah, the only one I could say for certain I saw was Sick, so I guess I'll go with that. We got some streaming to catch up on, Smoke.
Yeah, definitely.
If Tiana were here once again, she'd be like,
well, I'm pretty sure she's seen VHS 85. Yeah, she's probably seen. I mean, she's seen multiple ones.
Yeah, I do remember her saying something about VHS 85, so I know she's seen that.
But yeah, I can't really pick out of this category either one.
Yeah.
I could just throw down what I think I was going to win because it's just
I've heard good things about VHS
random
85, so that's probably what might win. But I think Sick was pretty good. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Now that I saw that again, I saw No One Will Save You. That's that Alien movie.
Oh, it was an Alien movie?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. No One Will Save You? No.
I probably just gave it away for everybody was like, oh, son of a bitch. But yeah, that's what that was. It's got some alien stuff going on there.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to lay it out on VHS 85 only because I don't know by name alone.
Yeah, because I love 1985. I love VHS and the year 1985. So let's go with that. Well, let's see what Tiana gave best streamer. Sick. So she agrees. Yeah, that was really good. I'm telling you, Smoke. Like if you haven't seen that,
yeah,
that one I think would kind of surprise you. It did me.
Yeah.
And, I'm not saying it's like holy shit. Jason never happened. This is replacing it. That's not what I'm saying. But it's for what it is. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I guess the consensus is Sick. I guess we'll go with that. See what happens next month. Next category, best supporting performance. So, we had the best lead performance. Now we've got the best supporting. Hold on, let me bring a little video up. All right, here are the nominees. Dave Bautista for Knock at the Cabin. Joe Bird, Talk to Me. Nicolas Cage in Renfield. Mia Goth in Infinity Pool. Catherine Newton in Abigail. Bridget Lundy Payne for I Saw the TV Glow. Dwayne Perkins in The Blackening. Dan Stevens in Abigail. Alyssa Sutherland, in Evil Dead Rise. And Alicia Weir for Abigail. We got some good ones here.
I'm going to throw it off the top of my head just because I'm thinking about it right now. I'm going to go with Mia Goth in Infinity Pool for the win. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go with Nicolas Cage and Renfield for my personal pick.
I really could see either one. You're probably not wrong at all there.
I think I could see either of those flipped as well. It could be that the Nicolas Cage one wins, and then I could also go with Mia Goth for my pick. Mm-hmm. But I guess I'll keep it the way I said. I'll keep it Mia Goth for the win, and my personal one that I would want to win being Nick Cage
I will add that Dan Stevens and Abigail was really good, and Alyssa Sutherland in Evil Dead Rise was very good.
Yeah. All these categories of these movies so far, of the ones that I've seen, and I've seen most all of these in this category, it's hard to choose sometimes between them. And like I said, I haven't given any love to Abigail, and I haven't really given much love to Talk to Me. That's not in this category, but just in general.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple other ones, but not because an Omen, but not because I didn't like them, just because I think there's some other strong contenders in the categories that they've been in.
And even Dave Bautista in Knock at the Cabin.
Oh,
he really stood out in that movie.
Yeah, because he was a little different, as far as you think about it.
Yeah, it's not what you would think, the kind of the way he would play it,
Yeah.
Against type.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting one. I think I'll go with I think I'm going to basically about what you did. I think Mia Goth will take it for Infinity Pool, and she was really good in it. You know,
yeah.
It wouldn't shock me, and I'd love to see Nicolas Cage get it. But I'm going to give some love to Dave Bautista for knocking the cap. He was really good in that. And just looking at these, I think he might be the dark horse. But it wouldn't shock me at all if they give it to Nicolas Cage. Like, oh shit, you mean we can get Nicolas Cage to be a part of this? Let's do it. You know. Renfield was probably a little disappointing in some ways. I didn't hate it, but it was probably not quite what people were hoping it would be.
Yeah,
that might bring it down a notch.
It might, yeah. I thought I liked Nicolas Cage was fun, but I mean, he's Nicolas Cage. He's doing Nicolas Cage. Yeah. He's doing his usual kind of thing.
I will say this. When they said Nicolas Cage was going to be Dracula, that's pretty much exactly what I thought I would see, and then that's what we got. Right.
Yeah, true.
Tiana says Mia Goth for Infinity Pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no arguments there. And I'm not sure if Maxine, I guess, maybe must not be in this time period. Because it came out about the time, I think that came out about the time that they actually put the vote, the ballot, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
So that probably didn't count. That'll probably be next year.
It'll be on next year's. Yeah, true.
What's the next one? Best television series. These, I can tell you right now, I don't watch as much of the horror TV series that I should. So I'm probably not going to be the leading opinion maker on this one. But let's see. We've got Chucky. Oh, Donnie. Donnie's not here. We've got The Fall of the House of Usher, Interview with the Vampire, The Last of Us, and Yellow Jackets. All right, I'm going to say The Last of Us because that's the only one I've seen, and that is a really good show. So I'm going to go with that.
I think I've seen some of The Fall of the House of Usher, I believe.
That was Mike Flanagan, I believe, right?
Yeah. Wasn't it? And it's in like modern. It's shifted to the modern era. I'm pretty sure.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I did see that, or at least part of it. I don't know if I ever finished it.
I've heard good things about Yellow Jackets. I know it's multiple seasons in, but I've never watched any of it.
I didn't see Last of Us, but I'm going to go with that for the win. Anyway.
It's good, dude. I think you would really like it.
Yeah. Really good. And I don't know that I can really say what I want to win because I haven't seen the other ones, and that House of Usher. No, definitely not. I'm not quite where Donnie is with the hate for Chucky, but let's just say that my love for Chucky is only in those first few movies, first three particularly, and then there's some other random.
I've never, we've had our conversations about Chucky, and we always poke at Donnie. I've never been the biggest Chucky fan either, but I have heard some good things about that series. So it sounds like one of those series. Like if you're a fan of it, of Chucky, you'll probably like the series. But if you're not, whatever. Right?
Yeah. Now the remake, Tiana liked it better than I did. I didn't really care for it that much because I didn't really care for the whole the route they took it. They took it out of the whole traditional voodoo thing that being the reason why Charles was raised in Chucky's
It's more of like
body.
robot AI kind of thing, right? Like Megan.
Yeah. That's what it is. There's no voodoo. There's no spirit inside. It's all technological, robot, like you said, AI technology or whatever.
Yeah. The Ghost in the Machine.
Yeah. But I guess I'll go with what's that?
I said I haven't watched it, but I know enough about it to know.
Yeah, about the remake.
What's going on here.
At least in the series, I think. I know. What's his name? Now his name, the voice of Chucky.
Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Dourif is voicing him at least. At least they got him. And he's not somebody else.
Yeah, and Mancini, who I think created Chucky, right? Like, I know he's involved in a part of it. So.
Yeah.
So it's probably fine if you like that kind of thing. That's the kind of thing you like, right? That's what.
Yeah.
Some people say.
Yep. But I guess I'll go with like I said, the win, Last of Us, and then.
I've seen.
I want to see.
I have seen a little bit of Interview with the Vampire, and it's fine. But I think The Last of Us is just a great show. Like, that's like, HBO high level quality production type stuff. That's top flight.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've seen the piece, trailer or promo for it or whatever, and
I
some
think
bits
you'll
and
like it.
pieces of it.
Yeah, one of these
Yeah,
days you can
yeah,
sit down and watch it. I really think you'll like it. It's good. Can't come back soon enough because it seemed like even that first season was like, it feels like it was a year or so ago. It feels like it was a while
yeah.
back. So can't come back soon enough. Okay, here's another one where I love video games, but I'm not up on enough of these to tell you for sure. I've actually played a couple of them, but at least I have a little bit of a knowledge of a couple of these. So I guess that'll be enough. But it's best video game. That's the category. Here are the nominees. These are horror video games, obviously. So we've got Alan Wake 2, the Dead Space remake, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, Resident Evil 4 remake, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I have played the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that's awesome. It's a fun game. There's a rash of these type of horror games that they do here lately. Like they did it with the Friday the 13th game. There's another one I'm liking on that's very popular. There's a few like this. I think even Evil Dead, where like essentially the whole gimmick of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game is you are either Leatherface or you're one of the victims.
Oh, okay.
So if you're in the game, if you're Leatherface, then you get to run around killing victims, right? Or survivors. And the whole thing is, if you're a victim, you're trying to survive. You're either trying to take out Leatherface or you're just trying to be able to escape before Leatherface gets you. And they did it in the same thing with the Friday the 13th game. Like, somebody's Jason and everyone else is camp counselors, same gimmick.
Yeah.
But they're fun. They're like multiplayer online things, and it's roll of the dice. You're either Leatherface or you're something else. You don't know what you're going to be until, all right, 3, 2, 1, let's start the game. Boom, you're Leatherface. Ha. Now you've got like Leatherface's almost superpower. You know how they did in what's the movie that Rise of Leslie Vernon?
Oh yeah.
Where all of a sudden, like, now you've got all these superpowers out of nowhere. It's almost like that in a way. It's fun though. It is fun. And I played a little bit of Alan Wake 2. I like to play that killer.
There's a guest.
Oh, well, there we go. We got
there's a guest. The guest in the show.
the guest pup.
Well, talk amongst yourselves. Talk to the audience because I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a snack for them and I'll be right back. But I'm listening.
I think I've played out of the most I've played out of these was probably the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. So I think I'm going to go with that. And I think that one's probably been played more than most of these. I haven't played that Killer Clowns game, although I definitely would like to. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think it was out yet. But apparently it is. It's a thing. So I have to go check that one out. And those Alan Wake games, those are really well done. But it's like a massive story. So I guess it wouldn't surprise me if either one of those won. I'd like to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre win this one, but it wouldn't surprise me if Alan Wake 2 is the one that wins it. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I want Texas Chainsaw to win, but I think Alan Wake 2 will probably win.
And I can't really comment on any of these because I haven't played any of them yet.
Like I said, I'd really like to check out a Killer Clowns from Outer Space game. That just sounds awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And I know all these Resident Evil remakes have been good, but they're remakes. So, to me, I'm going to take that down a notch as opposed to something a little bit more original. They're just basically like high-def remakes of the classics. All those pretty much are. So. What did Tiana say? She said Dead Space or Resident Evil 4. So she couldn't even decide. I haven't played, I've never played any of the Dead Space games. And once again, that's another remake. It's another like high def, bring it to current consoles remake. So
yeah,
I got to put those down a little bit compared to like Alan Wake or Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, yeah.
That's just.
I haven't played them, and so I can't say what I would want to win. I guess, but I guess I'll go with Texas Chainsaw. It's my just best guess for what we'll take.
Yeah, that's definitely the kind of game I think you would like, just because I know how big of a Texas Chainsaw fan you are. So,
Right.
yeah, I think you'd like that one if you play it. The last category that we have here, or at least the last category we have with proper nominees, is Best Wide Release Movie. So this is essentially the big one. This is like the best movie, essentially, of the last year and a half. So here are the nominees. It's quite a list. Abigail, Evil Dead Rise, The First Omen, Godzilla -1, Infinity Pool, Late Night with the Devil, Megan, Satanic Hispanics, Talk to Me, and When Evil Lurks. All right, so Professor, what do you think?
All right. Well, it's going to come down to, for me, the one that I want to win. Let's just say is going to be Godzilla -1, just because of the great movie and love for the Godzilla franchise, especially the original Toho style Godzilla, which it's still carrying on that legacy. Which one do I think will take it? It could very well be Godzilla -1 as well, but I don't know. I think I'll go with Godzilla -1 for both.
Man, this is tough. I think Godzilla -1 should win it. Whether it will or not, I don't know. I think it should.
Yeah.
But that's almost like two separate things, though, because what I'm saying is like it's technically, and in almost every way, probably the best movie here on this list, in my opinion. You know, just like if you're just comparing it to, say, I don't know, fucking Gone with the Wind or something, right? Like true cinema, it's probably the closest thing you'll get on this list to that.
True, yeah.
But man, like Evil Dead Rise and When Evil Lurks, really, really well done movies for me. Like, so horror wise, that's where I draw a little bit of a divide. Like,
well, yeah.
You know, because like those are true hardcore like horror movies.
Yeah.
And Godzilla, I'm not saying it's not, because it definitely is, but it's not. It's almost like a different type of horror, you know, in a way.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's always kind of been that way. I mean, it's not really been, unless you count the first Godzilla movie from 1956, right?
I believe it was.
And it's maybe this first sequel. You could consider those horror to a certain degree, or creature features at least, or whatever. But I mean, it's more sci-fi, right, than it is horror. Especially, it just kind of is. I mean, it's horror as well, because you got a giant monster destroying things, right?
Yeah.
And it's definitely more horror than the sequels. Definitely more horror, let's say, than the Hollywood ones, because those are more about action and shit tons of CG digital effects and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is. I mean, obviously they put it in this category, and it is, but it's just not, like you said, hardcore horror compared to the other ones. No, it's not. But
I mean, to me, if you're going straight horror, like When Evil Lurks is like the kind of movie that just burrows a hole in your brain and sticks with you for 2 weeks after you watched it. You know?
Yeah, that's true. And I might change mine to that as well. Then maybe.
I don't want to influence your vote, but like,
I want Godzilla to win. That's my pick.
And honestly, I think it should. I really do, because it's just a great movie. It's so damn well done. And beyond the Godzilla aspect of it, it's just a good movie. It's just a solid story.
Yeah.
The whole story of the guy and his, everything that's going on with the main character there outside of Godzilla. It's such a well done like story arc. It's so damn good.
And also, like you're saying, it's kind of the closest one that's like to traditional film, storyline and all that stuff. Yeah. That might be why I'm also biased towards it too, because it plays like a classic screenplay or whatever,
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that there's anything wrong with other different types of, original or whatever. It's just you put something out there that's more of a classic traditional thing, and I'm probably going to go for that.
Yeah.
Which
So
this movie does play into that.
I'm kind of talking around to say that, like, I think Godzilla -1 should probably win it because it's a great movie. But
yeah,
this ain't the Oscars. This is the fucking Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. So with that in mind, I think maybe Evil Dead Rise or When Evil Lurks.
Yeah. I mean, and thinking that as well, even though I initially said I think Godzilla -1 would be it's still my pick, but would also be the one that would win it. Thinking about it, if you're trying to outthink people who are voting for this, right? Like some people may not vote Godzilla -1 because they may not feel
it's not horror.
If they're hardcore horror fans, that it's not really belonging in that category. That's not even really a horror movie per se. And I mean, they're not completely wrong there because it's got that creature feature aspect of it, but that's it. There's not it's not hardcore horror.
So, well, if you're totally voting if you're voting on the basis of like this just ain't horror enough, then Megan shouldn't even be on this list.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it, but I agree.
Yeah, no, trust me. Whatever your expectation level is, you will probably still be disappointed in Megan. At this point, Smoke, just don't watch it. Wait until we do it on the podcast so you don't have to put yourself through it twice.
Oh, man. I might be sick for that episode. Or,
yeah. Like Donnie's going to be sick for all 8 Chucky movies, and when we do a recap of the series and everything. And the inevitable 5 more Chucky movies.
Oh, God. Yeah. Who knows how many? Because I think you said something about they're making a movie that's tied into the series, possibly.
Yeah, well, that's what I had read. Yeah, there was Mancini, whatever it was, Don Mancini, whatever his name is, the guy that is the godfather of the series, so to speak. Yeah. He said, I think he had said in some interview that he wants to make a movie that is based on what they have done in the series. So yeah, I guess consensus we'll kind of go with Godzilla -1 and we'll see what happens, right? And by the way, Tiana, she voted for Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
It's such a great movie. It really is,
it is.
But movie, like if you're just going strictly horror though, then flip a coin on When Evil Lurks or Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. And I'll go through and I'll write all these things down. So we're going to do another live show probably right after, because I think it's October 13th is when the actual airing on Shudder of the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. I think we're kind of looking at October 16th, so it's another Wednesday night. So about a month from now, a little less. We'll go back on live here on YouTube, and we'll see what we said versus what happened. Right, we'll react live here to what happened and see how right we were. There's one more, and this one doesn't have proper nominees, so we'll have to kind of throw out a couple that we like. But it's best kill. So, anything come to mind right away?
Yeah, but this is. I mean, you can't talk about these without giving away spoilers. At least for one movie I have in mind. I'll just say the movie, and if people that have seen it will know the kill. I won't even mention what the kill is, but it's in a violent nature. Has one particular kill in it that, like I said, we're talking about some still pretty fresh new movies here, so I don't want to really give any spoilers away. But
yeah,
you haven't even seen it yet to that point, right?
No, not to, I've watched about halfway through the movie, so I'm not up to the big moment apparently yet.
So I'm not going to say what the kill is because it's really cool. You just like experience it. And the experience it in the theater was it's pretty interesting with a crowd of people. Like, what the, it's one of those kind of moments. Like, what the hell? This is crazy. So, but yeah, anybody who's seen the movie will know the exact kill I'm talking about. That's how inventive and different it is. So, I think that's the one I'm going to go with. That's the one that springs to mind instantly.
It's been a while since I've seen it because it came out over a year ago, give or take. But when Evil Dead Rise, I was going to say When Evil Dead Rise, like When Evil Lurks. I'm pulling at you. It seemed like Evil Dead Rise had at least a couple in there that I'm just blanking on. I remember some dudes in a hallway or something where like he took himself out and was there was some stuff like there was some scenes in there, but it's been too long.
Yeah, my problem with that is the same thing. Is I saw it when it first came out in theaters, and I haven't seen it since. And that was earlier on, right?
Yeah, same here. So like it's been too long since I've seen it. So I'm sure there's something in there that probably should be mentioned here, for best kill.
Yeah.
When evil lurks, I think the one, I don't want to give everything away, spoilers, but all I'll say is a little girl and a dog.
Yeah, and that's the other one that I was, kind of going back and forth in my head on.
Yeah,
either that one or the one I just mentioned could win it, I think.
That one stands out. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Which only means that it'll be something that we didn't even mention.
True. Yeah.
Megan slapping somebody and yeah. What? Yeah, that in Skinamarink, that one little blood spatter.
Yeah.
That you see.
Yeah, the blood splatter that repeats over and over again.
Yeah, like that. I guess was it? I don't know. Remember when we did that episode? I had a hell of a time picking the highlight kill because.
Oh yeah.
What do you do there?
Yeah.
Cuckoo. Still not a movie. I'll stick with that. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think we're planning on Wednesday, October 16th. We'll go live here on YouTube again, and hopefully Tiana will make it for that one, and hopefully Donnie. He was supposed to be here, so hopefully everything's all right. Never heard from him.
Yeah.
He went incommunicado, so we'll let you know if anything. If there's any updates on Donnie at some point, but yeah. So obviously Will hasn't watched any of this stuff. He'll be like, "What do you think is the best movie?" He'll say The Exorcist from 1972 or whatever. That's the last one I watched. So that's it. So like we said off the top, go visit aaspookshow.com and feel free to hang out here on the YouTube channel. We got tons of stuff here, monthly series, Grindhouse Gutter, Video Vortex, Hammer Horror Order, and of course the All American Spook Show podcast comes out every Monday at 6 p.m. East, wherever you get your podcasts, and they also release right here on the YouTube channel. And please go become a patron on patreon.com/aaspookshow. We got lots of cool content's already there, but we're actually going to be having some new stuff popping up over the next month or two. So we'll be ramping that up here toward the end of October, and we'll have more to say once we get up to our special 6th anniversary episode, 6 years of the Spook Show on Halloween. So thanks for watching.
All right, y'all later.